Hi, this is Larry with ManCave Mayhem. Today we're going to do a quick video on how to adjust the chain tension on a CT110. Okay, so there's not a lot of videos on YouTube really that talk much about adjusting the chain tension. People say, oh, get it adjusted and, you know, sit on the bike, take the shocks off the bike, whatever. The way the book says is it can be adjusted anywhere from 1 inch to 5/8 to 1 inch adjustment. The tools you'll need for this job is going to be, you're going to need a 17mm socket and obviously a ratchet. You're going to need some needle nose pliers to pull these this cotter pin out of the back. You're going to need a 10mm socket, and that's about it really, and a tape measure. So let's get started on this real quick. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold your tape measure up to the chain, and then you move the chain. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up for us. Okay, so I roughly have this set up on the 3-inch mark. So you're going to want to check and see if this chain is going to move. Anywhere within 1 inch to 5/8 is good. I'm going to say this is probably a little off, but we'll go ahead and move it. Yeah, see, I'm out of the inch mark there. So we're going to want to tighten that chain up just a little bit. It's not going to kill you to have it this loose, but you know, I probably want it to come to about here, and I can move it pretty far past that. So you're going to want it anywhere, like I said, anywhere from 5/8 to 1 inch play in the chain on these CT110s, and also I think it pertains to the 90s as well. And you're going to want to attack this castle nut with a 17mm socket. I already pulled the cotter pin out, and then we'll go to adjusting these here. All right, so this particular bike here has 2 nuts on it. One's kind of a stop nut. And so you want to loosen that stop nut up first. And I've got a couple of these that don't have stop nuts on them, so I'm going to take this all the way off for the purpose of getting this chain tightened. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to kind of bring this in a little bit. See how that chain moves right there? That's going to tighten the chain up quite a bit. It doesn't take much. So now then I'm going to check the tightness on this. You may have to readjust your tape measure. I'm getting closer. I might bring it a little tighter, bring it around to 5/8, just make it a little bit more snug. You don't want them too tight because then it works against the suspension on the bike. So I tightened it up a little bit more. So I readjusted the tape measure. Now I'm going to check it and see. I'm probably right within spec there, and it feels a lot better than it was. It's pretty dang loose. So feels pretty snug. So now I'm going to look at this, look at my reference point on here. Now a lot of these have a notch cut in them, but this one doesn't seem to have a notch in it. I don't know if it was put on backwards, but usually there's a notch on the top. And it's very likely that somebody could have put this on backwards. But just reference the center of this, and you can look at this and see. Probably, if I look at the top of the castle nut, I'm going to be right there, just probably about 2.5 marks back. So then I'm going to want to go to the other side here, and I'm going to want to do the same thing on this side. We're going to bring this 2.5 marks back. Now see, this one has a mark on it. You can see it. So I'm going to go 2.5 back on this. That should be about right there. And I always kind of look at the back of the tire, see if I'm centered up, see if there's any weird angle on the chain going up to the primary sprocket, and you know, if there's any kind of weird angle or any kind of weird drag on it. And then what I'll do is I'll recheck this again, make sure I'm in the same spot or really close, you know. Recheck this side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to snug that up now. I'll snug that castle nut up, and then we'll check everything again. And if the tension's right, then we'll go ahead and put the cotter pin in. And that's basically how you do it. That's how you adjust the chain on a CT 110 and a CT 90. If you have any questions, feel free to make comments down below. Ask questions. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and just remember, I'm just a man in a cave causing mayhem. Thanks again for watching.